Hi everyone! This is the second video in a series of checking on various myths, facts, tips and other PvZ madness. Without further ado, let's get right to the point. Now we don't have a myth, but something like PvZ wildness. Anyway, on the screen you see a lady from Z-Corp, and she's able to glide across the lawn. In doing so, her movements resemble dashes. So if at the moment of this dash to plant something behind her, she will eat it, although she is staying on another square. No, well look at this madness. I specifically chose a nut, what would chew more. I even had to feed it because she is so hungry. By the way, if you plant 2 more nuts, one on the square in front and one right on the lady, she will switch exactly to the middle nut, but when she eats it, she will go back to the one behind instead of rushing forward. That's how she is crazy. Never liked her. Here's a question. What if Gargania deploys Bad Assault at the moment he swings at a plant? Will he heal the bad, kill both plants, or not kill anyone, or not deploy until he strikes? To test it, we need Gargania, whom I provoke to strike with Peanut and then freeze for clarity. Our subject has assumed the right pose, now we urgently plant the Bad and give the feed. Waiting for defrost. It turned out that the giant didn't destroy any of the plants. The nut survived because the Gag hit in the other direction, and the Bad survived because the wool didn't expire. Now Gargania goes to deal with Peanut, but we are going to upset him over again. So, the answer is simple, Gag won't kill any of the plants. Myth. Robo Gargania can melt the ice on the plants and the ice blocks into which the zombies turn from the ice blossom attack. We check the first statement, for which we have a whole plantation of icy plants and a bunch of robots. We could have taken just one, but we will check for sure. And we must say, the plan worked. And note that the ice melted on some of the plants, but not completely, and some plants were burnt out. There are no cases where a plant would have thawed and remained intact, so I ran the experiment again, but now the ice in a few plants is slightly melted. Getting into such plants, Robo Gargania does release them from ice captivity and can keep them alive. Not always, but it can, so this part of the myth turns out to be true. Now, in front of the Gags is a pile of their own allies, whom I've packed into ice coffins. And even these poor souls are attacked by laser beams, but they attack the ice blocks and the dead ones are burned to ash. And this part of the myth is also true. Another myth. If the Mega Footballer pushes the red stink in one form and the plant crosses the boundary of changing forms, then the flower will change its appearance accordingly. It's true, from a defensive bud, the stink has turned into a semi-attacking plant. The myth is confirmed, it's true. Myth. If you release a cat from tiger grass on a zombie attacked by mangold, a strange thing will happen. I wish the myth will be true. To test it, we will need mangold, a stronger zombie that won't die from a couple of claw touches, and the tiger grass itself. Let's check it out. Oh look, really nonsense. Tiger Cub flew out and wanted to go away, but then came to his senses and landed, but ate it on the 5th square of the grass, when by the rules he's attacking zombies in the middle of the 4th square, from the bush. Myth confirmed. There was a real thing. But the timing is important here, and probably the location also plays a role. Sometimes the tiger doesn't fly away and the nonsense doesn't happen. If grass will be planted at the wrong time, the tiger cub might not follow the zombie, or the zombie might stay on mangold until he eats the kitten. However, in some cases, I was able to make the bush dweller flew away somewhere in the unknown distance, so the duo of tiger grass and mangold can provide some real wild thing. I used to spawn generals from the ground and found that they become intangible to plants and lost any sign of life at all. But it turned out that if you coat them in a block of ice, you get something even wilder. Now in the example of Cardio Zombie, General doesn't seem to be doing anything extraordinary. He is still shuffling his feet and that's it. But as you can see, this General doesn't pump his mate. With this kind of appearance on the lawn, the Generals lose their skills, but the animation continues. This isn't very interesting with Cardio Zombie, but let's look at Caesar. If the sports dead guy was running on the spot with a treadmill, then Caesar can do it without any sports equipment. Just look at this beauty, what talent, what grace, he will be the envy of any Olympic champion. And what will the mech do? and this one will just levitate on the spot in his sphere and just chill. Why should he strain himself if he can relax and rest? I want to point out that unlike spawn from the ground, generals from blocks of ice can be destroyed, so I destroyed the mech with cherries, but after spawn nothing can kill him. Such PvZ madness. I was recently promised that if I unleashed an Ankylosaurus on the beach, there would be some kind of madness when the zombie was pushed. However, nothing have happened, I even got a little upset. I thought, what if I need to put a plant on the water, so that the zombie was something to push and maybe in that case will happen wildness? And guess what? Remember last week's Mechafobleer trap? Turns out that the Ankylosaurus push has the opposite effect on the plants too. I was looking for one madness and found a completely different one. Well, with a satisfied face I move on to the next video, so goodbye.